Hey, this is Pastor Tim, and it is hard to believe that Christmas is less than a week away. For some of us, we can't wait for it to get here, and for others, we can't wait for it to be done. It reminds me of a few years ago, I got a chance to do a 100-mile bike ride on the track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the same place where they run the Indianapolis 500. I was doing really good on the bike ride up until about the 85-mile mark. Up until then, it was fun and it was exciting, it was novel and it was different, but at 85 miles, I got really tired and I started to cramp up, and the rest of the ride was grueling and exhausting until that last lap, as I closed in on the finish line. And all of a sudden, all of those feelings of exhaustion became feelings of anticipation. And those feelings of anticipation turned into a celebration as I crossed the finish line. And I'll never forget the feeling I had inside. It was this feeling like, man, it was all worth it. I think that's why we love Christmas Eve so much. In fact, I'm always amazed when I talk with people and ask them what their favorite part of Christmas is, and they say that it's the Christmas Eve service. I think it's because we finally get past all the other stuff that gets jammed in on Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, we celebrate the birth of Christ, and we are reminded that it was all worth it. I want to invite you to join us on December 24th at 5 p.m. when we celebrate the arrival of Christ, when we celebrate the incarnation, Emmanuel, God with us, when we pause from everything else and focus our attention upon Him and find that it certainly is all worth it. It'll be a night of tradition, it'll be a night of worship, it'll be a night when we read the Christmas story again and we receive the greatest gift that God has ever given us. That night we're also going to receive an offering that we're calling Christmas to Close the Gap. Everything that comes in that night we'll use outside of our church to help bring people who are far from God to a place where they might be able to meet Him, and we close the gap between heaven and earth in Central Arkansas. Christmas is a great time to invite somebody to come with you. So I want to encourage you to be a bringer. Who's a friend or family member who you might invite to join you? You might even be surprised that they might just say yes. We hope that you'll join us on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. for our Christmas Eve service. We're looking forward to worshiping together with you.